Alright guys, 100% full disclosure here, this is not the complete video, this is just part 1. There is no way we could fit this whole thing into one video. This was just stupid. The amount of shit that needs to be done to 100% complete gold and silver is insane. So this is just the first half. Now, in the 100% red and blue video, I said if we could do 10 times more likes than my most liked video, then I might have a crack at gold and silver. So we were chasing 700 likes. And to be honest, I never thought we'd get anywhere close to that. But you guys, holy shit, we definitely got it. So thank you all so much. But this is gonna suck. If you came here for advice on how to 100% complete gold and silver, my advice would be don't. It's a nightmare. I swear, Game Freak does not want you to do this. They make it so much harder than it needs to be. But let's get into this. So I chose to do this all on Pokemon Silver, following on from choosing Blue last time, but I'm gonna have to play a few different games to get everything we need, but we'll get to that. So in red and blue, I kind of split everything up into little sections, catch the Pokemon, get the items, that kind of thing. But this time, it was very messy, like really messy. So instead of trying to split it all up nicely, we're just gonna go chronologically through the absolute shit show that was, how hard is it to 100% complete gold and silver? So I booted up a new game of Pokemon Silver, named myself Like and Sub, and headed out to witness some crime. Now, the hardest part of Gen 2 for me is choosing between Cyndaquil and Totodile, because I love them both. But since I can't choose the pair of them, I decided to choose the pair, and I name it Summersby. We head out to see Oak, who gives us an egg. We head back and run into a young man named ... and spank him worse than Gary. Then we go see Elm, who's freaking out because someone stole one of the good starters. The cops ask us for his name, and because we're mature adults, we tell them that his name was Penis. We get some balls, and some dude shows us how to play with our balls, after which we struggle to catch a Pidgey, and then fail to catch a Weedle before we run out of balls. So the catching mechanics in Gen 2 are a little different to Gen 1, and you may think that because Gen 1 was so broken that they would have fixed everything in gold and silver, but no, they may have actually made it worse. It was a good start. We simplified this crazy maths to a single crazy formula, which basically means that the chance of catching any Pokemon is higher with a higher base catch rate, lower HP, and a status condition. But the programming was janky, so the only status conditions that actually work are sleep and freeze. So there's no point trying to paralyze or burn the Pokemon you're gonna catch, it won't make any difference. They also changed the status effect on catching from being a multiplier to just adding a flat 10 out of 256 chance, which doesn't sound like a lot if you're trying to catch a Weedle, but if you're trying to catch a Lugia, it makes a big difference. So throwing a ball at a full health Lugia is a 1% chance to catch it. Knocking it down to 1 HP brings that up to a 2% chance to catch it, but that's still not great odds, so just knocking it down to low HP doesn't really make a huge difference. Put that same Lugia to sleep, add in that 10 out of 256 flat rate, and you're up to 6.25% chance to catch it, which again, isn't great, but it's a lot better than 1%. So the short version of the story is that sleep is very useful for Pokemon that are hard to catch. There's also some very janky programming happening with Kurt's balls. The Pokeball, Great Ball, and Ultra Balls all work properly, like the Ultra Ball just doubles your chance to catch, like it's supposed to. But the Fast Ball, which is supposed to be for any Pokemon that have a chance to flee, actually increases the catch rates of only Grimer, Tangela, and Magnemite. Only those 3, which makes it pretty close to useless. But not as useless as the Moon Ball, which is supposed to increase the catch rate for Pokemon that evolve with a Moonstone, but instead increases the catch rate for Pokemon that evolve with a Burn Heal, which obviously isn't a thing. Then there's the Love Ball, which is supposed to be for Pokemon of the opposite gender, but Game Freak were very progressive in 1999, so it actually increases the catch rate for Pokemon of the same gender. Don't judge, guys. Love is love. We head up north and tell our mum to fuck off before heading into Violet City to buy some more Pokeballs. We then catch 2 very important Pokemon, Bellsprout and Zubat. So, along with updating the catching mechanics, Gen 2 also introduced the happiness mechanic. And there's a few Pokemon that evolve when their happiness stat is maxed out at 255. Pokemon gain happiness by walking around with them in your party, winning important battles, gaining levels, and giving them vitamins like irons and proteins or whatever. And they lose happiness when they're knocked out, or if you feed them some organic medicine, because apparently it tastes bad. And contrary to popular belief, things like boxing your Pokemon in the PC or just winning normal trainer battles actually don't make any difference to their happiness stat. So feel free to chuck your Togepi in the PC whenever you want, she doesn't mind. Now we want a Zubat early so we can make it happy and evolve it into Crobat. We don't care about Bellsprout's happiness, we just want to trade it for an Onix named Rocky. Summersby actually does quite well in Sprout Tower, but in the gym, not so much. Luckily, we've got Rocky to carry the team. We head into the Pokemon Center to grab the egg back, but we don't have enough space on the team, so we immediately ditch Rocky and grab the egg. We catch whatever we come across along the way to Azalea Town and do some switch training with Zubat to make her love me. Now I know red and blue like the back of my balls, so I know exactly what I'm doing in those games. Gold and silver, not so much. So I added an extra little step to this 100% run. Talk to everybody. And I mean everybody. We talk to Kurt, who fakes an injury to avoid having to do anything helpful, and we save the Slowpoke well from Team Rocket. We hit up the gym, and once again, Summersby lets us down. But Zubat comes through for us, and we get our Hive Badge. We run into Penis and spank him again, then catch a bunch more Pokemon, one of which is Drowsy, and head up to Goldenrod. Now, we didn't catch a Drowsy because we care about Drowsy, but because we want to trade it for a Machop with the very creative name Muscle. And while we're doing a quick bit of shopping, our egg hatches into a Togepi. Then we answer some super hard questions to grab a radio card because it's 1999 in this world and Spotify doesn't exist yet. Then we head into the gym, and at this point, I'm not even surprised that Summersby lets us down again. But Muscle comes through for us, and we make Whitney cry like a little bitch before grabbing the squirt bottle, spraying a tree, catching the tree, and catching a bunch more Pokemon. Then we head up to Ecruteak City, and somewhere along the way, Wooper becomes my best Pokemon. We hit up the Pokemon Center, and Bill casually mentions that he's invented time travel before we fight some little girls and release some legendary beasts into the general public, but not before we run into Penis. And our beefed up new Quagsire sweeps his whole team. We head into the gym to take on Morty, and to be honest, I'm kinda starting to regret picking the pair at this point, but the roided out Quagsire gets the job done, and we head down to see Bill and grab ourselves an Eevee. Which, just like Zubat, we gotta make it very happy so it can eventually evolve into either Espeon or Umbreon. And while we're in the area, we get Zubat a quick haircut, and she looks fabulous. And since this is a 100% everything run, we gotta hit up the name raider at some point, so we pop in and rename Zubat to Sexy Bat. We head down to Olivine, climb up the lighthouse, say hi to Jasmine and Amphi, who ask us to smuggle some drugs over the border from down south. Our Quagsire turns into a Lapras for some reason, and while crossing the border, Sexy Bat evolves into a beautiful Golbat. We head into the gym, and for the first time ever, Summersby actually has the type advantage. And this is why nobody likes you. But the Dream Team comes through, and Summersby is demoted to a HM slave for the rest of the game. We grab the HM for Fly, the drugs, Shucky the Shuckle, and then try to squeeze in a quick photo shoot for Sexy Bat. But apparently there's a print error because I'm playing on an emulator. So it looks like we've already failed this challenge because without that photo, it's not really a 100% run, is it? Well, shit. Continuing on with the 99% run, we smuggle the drugs into the lighthouse and save Amphi. Jasmine heads back to the gym and we send in the HM slave for a quick shot at redemption. Nope. Quagsire continues to be an absolute beast and sweeps Jazzy's entire team, so I decide that he needs a nickname too. Now I couldn't think of anything super badass for him, but Sire, as in Quagsire, Sire basically means father, so I'ma call him Daddy. We head out east, surf over the little lakes, and skip the whole Union Cave, but we'll come back for that later. We head up to the Lake of Rage, catch the Red Gyarados, and have a quick chat with Lance, who claims to be the Dragon Master despite using exclusively flying types. We head down to Mahogany Town to team up with Birdkeeper Lance, who straight up murders a guy before we take on Team Rocket. And it turns out that this Penis guy is kind of a dick. So by now we've been leading with Sexy Bat for like 3 gyms and brought down an entire criminal enterprise together. But still, she won't evolve. What more do you want from me? Why don't you love me? The HM Slave starts off pretty well in Price's gym, but inevitably, Daddy has to take care of business. Then Elm calls us and he's freaking out about Team Rocket again, and I'm just starting to think the old man needs a Zanny or two because he's always calling me mid-panic attack. But Team Rocket are messing with the radio tower, so we sort them out real quick and get the Hottest 100 moved back to Australia Day before getting Sexy Bat a quick haircut. Also, the HM Slave devolved at some point, but I don't even care anymore because more importantly than that, the Sexy Bat finally evolved into Crobat. And now that our Sexy Bat can finally learn to fly, we can head down to Route 31 and return our previous flyer, Kenya, to this larger gentleman and grab TM50, which we'll get to the TMs later, but that's going to be a whole thing. We head towards Blackthorn City, and on the way I realize it's been a long-ass time since I caught anything, so I catch a bunch more Pokemon on the way. But not Delibird, because it keeps running away every time I try. So another new mechanic introduced in these games is Pokemon that can flee from a wild battle. The most obvious example of this are the legendary beasts that always flee on the first encounter, but there's plenty more that range from a 10% chance to flee, like Dratini or Unknown, to a 50% chance to flee, like Cubone, Phanpy, and Delibird. So I may not have caught the Sandabird, but on my way through the Ice Cave, I decide that it's time to add a new member to the team. So earlier I mentioned that one of the best ways to increase the catching rate in these games is to put the Pokemon to sleep, which also prevents it from fleeing. So we want a sleeper. Spore is the best sleep move in the game with 100% accuracy, but only Parasect can learn it, and Parasect is very slow. The next best sleep move is Sleep Powder, with 75% accuracy. Technically Lovely Kiss has the same accuracy, but only Jinx learns it, and I don't like Jinx, so that's not an option. Now there's a whole bunch of Pokemon that can learn Sleep Powder, but what I want is the fastest one, so hopefully I can outspeed anything that I come across and get it to sleep before it has a chance to run off or attack. Luckily, we already have the perfect Pokemon sitting in the PC, Hoppip. So right now he's at level 6, and I have no interest in switch training a Pokemon that's only attacking moves at Tackle at level 10 and Mega Drain at level 30. But what we can do is head down to Violet City, then out west to say hi to a man named Mr. Pokemon, and trade our red scale for an EXP share. Slap that bitch on Hoppip, and we gonna be sleep powdering everybody in no time. We take down Claire, who, unlike Birdkeeper Lance, actually uses a full team of dragons, but during the battle, Hoppip learns Sleep Powder and evolves into Skiploom. Then Claire shows us that she's even saltier than Whitney and demands that we go do a quick fetch quest before she'll actually give us the badge. But on the way, we catch a Magikarp, and then a Dratini starts pulling out some Sandabird shit on us, so we stick Skiploom up front and catch it before it can run off. Then Elm calls, and for the first time ever, he's not freaking out and just wants to give us a present. So we head back down to New Bark Town to catch a few more Pokemon before meeting up with Elm to grab our Master Ball. Now this probably seems like a good time to go catch a legendary Lugia, but I only get one Master Ball and I gotta save it. So right now, we're gonna keep moving on and head towards Victory Road. And on the way, Skiploom evolves into Jumpluff. We catch some more Pokemon before Daddy spanks Penis, and he admits that he's kind of a dick. Character growth. We head into the Elite Four, and Sexy Bat learns Mean Look, which will be very important later on. We take on Birdkeeper Lance with his team of flying types and underlevel Dragonites and become the new champion of the Johto region. We head back home and get a call from Elm to let us know that he's got a little something for us, so he gives us the ticket for the SS Aqua to head over to Kanto. While we're on the boat, we play hide and seek with a little girl, and the captain gives us a metal coat, which is also going to be very useful later on. We get to Kanto and go straight to the gym where we don't have to mess around with the bins and get our first Kanto gym badge from Lieutenant Surge. We take out Sabrina, Erica, and Coke
Janine,
and catch a bunch more Pokemon on the way. We head over to the power plant where crime has occurred, so we're asked to go check out the gym where we find my favorite member of Team Rocket from any of these games. This dude is hilarious, and his English is almost as bad as mine. But we make his Pokemon go bye-bye a go-go before grabbing the machine part and returning it to the power plant. We head up north to Badge Block Misty so she goes back to the gym, and we make her Pokemon go bye-bye a go-go. We take the scenic route down to Lavender through the rock tunnel, because we gotta do it at some point, where we catch a Cubone, a Marowak, and a Kangaskhan, further cementing my theory that they were once going to be an evolution line. We head into Lavender Tower, where this guy thanks us for making the problems at the power plant go bye-bye a go-go, and gives us the expansion card for our radio. We use our upgraded radio to tune into the Pokéflute channel and wake up Snorlax, and catch it, which also gets a Snorlax held item, Leftovers. We go through the Diglett Tunnel where we catch a Diglett and a Dugtrio and get to Pewter City where we talk to some random old man who happens to have the rainbow wing we need to catch Ho-Oh, which I always thought was kind of weird, like it's just some random old dude hanging out in Pewter that gives you the key to catching the legendary Ho-Oh. I don't know, it always seemed weird to me. But we take our Brock and take a little detour through Mount Moon, which you don't actually need to do if you're just playing through the game normally, but there's a few things we need in here. We see a penis on the way, and Daddy does what Daddy does best. We grab a Clefairy and then watch them do a little dance before grabbing a Moonstone by using Rock Smash on this rock in the middle. But the most important reason that we're here is actually on the other side of Mount Moon. This is the only place in the game to get a Berserk Gene, which is an item that raises your Pokemon's attack, but confuses them at the start of the battle. And it is a single-use item. It's actually programmed to be the held item for Wild Mewtwo's, which don't exist in Gold and Silver, but since it's used at the start of the battle, even if you hack in a Wild Mewtwo with a Game Shark or whatever, you still can't catch it before it uses the Berserk Gene. So this right here, this is your only option. Where is it? I swear it was here. Oh my god, it's on the other side, isn't it? And I don't have any space in the back. Okay, well, Mount Moon was pointless. We head through what's left of Viridian Forest and down to Pellet Town to break into Red's house and have a quick run of GoldenEye on his 64 before Daddy turns into a Lapras again and takes us down to what used to be Cinnabar Island. And this place looks like shit. We have a quick chat to Blue, who tells us that a volcano destroyed the island, and this is going to make getting the fossil Pokemon really painful. We go out east to find a homeless man named Blaine who is no match for Daddy, so we get our 15th gym badge. One more to go. And the guy who's usually hanging out in every gym apologizes for missing the battle because he couldn't find us in this random cave. Nice touch there, Game Freak. I like it. We fly to Viridian and head to the gym, have a quick chat to our new best friend, and take on Blue. Daddy sweeps his whole team, and just like that, we have all 16 badges. We go say hi to Oak, who gives us access to Mount Silver, where we can take on the final challenge, Red. But I don't want none of that yet, because we got plenty more to do before that, because despite catching every single Pokemon we've seen so far, we've only actually caught 68 Pokemon, so we have got a long way to go. And this is where shit starts to get really messy. But you're gonna have to wait for part 2 to see the rest of what may possibly be the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. I did warn you at the start that this wasn't the whole story, but here's a sneak peek of part 2.
Next time on Chew vs. Me.
Alright guys, it's time for me to go bye-bye and go-go, but thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you next time.